First thing I sold this week was a jewelry lot of just a bunch of shell jewelry that I put together. When I have my jewelry jars and stuff that I go through, shell jewelry doesn't typically sell for a lot by itself. So I just put them off to the side till I have 10, and then I make a lot of them, and that typically sells pretty quickly. So um, I estimate the cost of these as 0 because everything I put into lots I do as 0. I've explained this before because I make my money out of the jewelry jars on things that sell standalone, and then everything else I just kind of zero out because I'm not sure if it's ever going to sell or not. And if it doesn't, I just donate it. And if it does sell, then it's extra money from the jewelry jar. So I sold this lot. It cost about $5 in shipping and fees. It sold for $10, so I made a profit of $5 on this lot of jewelry. This was the first witchy box that I sold for the week. It's one of the subscriptions. It's an ongoing subscription, so this is when this one goes out every month. And the cost of this particular box was $3.73. The shipping and fees were about $8. It sold for $16.66 because that's just what each of my 6-month subscription boxes come to. They pay for them all at once, and then it's just that price divided by 6. And then the profit was $4.93. The shipping and fees have, well, not the fees, but the shipping has gone up recently. So it's starting to eat in my profit. So I'm going to probably have to, next year at the start of January, I'm going to raise the price of all of my subscriptions by a little bit, except for my standalone boxes. But as far as the subscription boxes, if you get a 3, 6, or 1-year subscription, I kind of lower the cost a lot. And that worked out for me fine in the past, but shipping has just gotten to a point where I'm going to need to up the costs a little bit. Not by like a lot, probably about by $20 to $40 for the whole like year subscription, probably like 40, and the 6-month subscription probably like 20. And the 3-month subscription probably like 10. So I'm going to have to do some pricing out and figure that out. But that's going to start next year because I just have a lot on my plate, and I'm still making up enough. These people have already paid for their subscriptions, so it's not that big a deal. As long as I come in at some kind of profit, I'm fine. But I would like to typically see a much higher profit per box. So yeah, that's one of my goals for next year is repricing everything so I get a higher profit ratio on the subscription boxes. This is an original Star Wars trading card. They came out right around the same time as the original Star Wars movies. So this is from the 1980s. My husband has a whole bunch of them. His parents bought them and gave them to him as a child. Come from a big line of geeks on both sides, both my family and his family. So, yeah, but we didn't really have a use for them, so I've been selling them off. Usually people don't buy just one card. Usually they buy 5 to 10 cards, but occasionally people are just looking for one card to kind of fill out their collection, get that one they're missing. So, the cost on this is 0 because I was just given to them by my husband. The shipping and fees on this were 60 cents. It sold for $1.75. So the profit is $1.15. Now, the profit and stuff on these are very low, but again, it's a small thing that you can sell. It does make a profit, and so it really ups your positive feedback, and also anything Star Wars gets a lot of eyes in your shop. So I like to have them in there, and since it doesn't cost me anything, they can just sit in there and it's fine. And I make a dollar every once in a while on them, you know? So this is the second witchy box I sent out for the week. It was also part of a 6-month subscription. Everything in the box cost me $4.40, which is a little higher than normal, but this person has been getting subscription boxes for me since I started them like 3 years ago. So occasionally I give them kind of like a more premium type of a box just because they've been with me so long and I have a good working relationship with them. So occasionally I'll find something I know they'll really, really like, and I will spend a little bit more for it than I would somebody else. Um, the shipping and fees were $8. Like I said, shipping's kind of gone up a little bit. Sold for $16.66, and the profit was $4.26. So I got this vintage cat puzzle at a consignment slash thrift store. There were two puzzles in the bag. There was this cat with their kittens puzzle, and there was a rabbit with baby rabbits puzzle. These are really nice. They're all wood, and both of the puzzles were in one bag, and they cost $2. So it was $1 a puzzle. The shipping and fees on this were about $5. It sold for $12.99, so I made a profit of $6.99 on this one. So the last witchy box I sold this week is what I call a huge box. Huge boxes have 20 items in them. My normal monthly box has 10 items in them. And my normal box, if you're buying it just by itself, costs $25. So my huge box costs $50, just double since it has double the items. The cost of everything in this box was $7.36. I spend a lot, like about double what I typically spend on the normal size boxes. And I'm usually able to find some much bigger items, more bulky items, because these go in a flat rate box. So I can put in some really cool stuff. The shipping and fees on this were about $14. It sold for $50, so the profit on this was $28.64. So these southwestern style earrings I got in a jewelry jar. So they cost me about 25 cents because I'm selling them all by themselves. The shipping and fees on these were $4. They sold for $8 because they've been up for a while. And the profit was $3.75. Now, typically when I do a jewelry jar and I put up the jewelry, I start it anywhere from $20 to $12 is the average depending on the piece. These originally were up for around $15, but if they're up for a long time and I have already made more than the jar is worth, then I will take offerings. Like I did on this one, I took an offer of $8. But that's only after I have made back the cost of the jewelry jar times like 5, and then I'll start accepting low offers or lower offers, but I don't go for lower than 8 on any of the items that I sell by themselves. If they are gonna, oh, sorry about that. If they just yawn out of nowhere, if they um don't seem like they're gonna sell at $8 and they're up for a few months, then I just throw them into a wearables lot and cost that whole lot out. But yes, the jewelry jar that these came from, I have way more than made my money back on times like 10 on the jar itself because I spent about $20 on the jar, and the first item I sold out of that jar was $40. So, and that was just one item, and I got hundreds of items out of that jar. If you count the junk lots and the wearable lots and everything that I got out of it. So yeah, this jazz CD is actually disc one of a set, but I know that sometimes people break their CDs or just one in a set gets damaged and they need to replace just that one CD. So if I get it for really cheap, I will put up disc one, disc three, whatever random of video games, music sets, anything like that. This actually cost me zero because I got a whole lot of CDs and cassette tapes from my in-laws when they were trying to downsize their house. And so it didn't cost me anything, so there was no point in not putting it up. The shipping and fees on this guy cost $4. It sold for 8, so I made a profit of $4 on just a disc 1 CD replacement.